This screencast will be on how to enter My Big Campus. First, you'll have to go to www.mybigcampus.com, and once you'll get here, you're going to sign up. If you're an educator, you'll select that option, and then you just start typing in Holmen High School, and you should see that pop up, so you'll select that. Make sure it fills in this blank. Click Next. And then you'll go in and enter your first name, last name. You don't have to use your email. You'll find that sometimes you'll get lots of messages anytime a discussion is posted on if you have your email in there, so you might want to leave that off. Your username will be your same login that you use to get into the school network. And then your screen name could be your first and last name. It could be what you want the students to address you as. So for example, I might have Ms. Johnson as mine. And then for the user type, indicate who you are. If you're a teacher, select that. And then when you get to the password, you need to use the same password that you use to get into the network. That's the most common things kids have problem with, is it won't let them in if they start using a different password. If you ever change your password for the network, this will also change as well. And then you'll click sign up, and you'll have to accept a couple terms of use, and you should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And it already comes up as Holmen High School because I've gone here before from this computer. And once you're in, you'll see it'll come up with your screen. You're going to want to add a group. So that's going to be the first thing I'll do, is click Add Group on the left-hand side. And this is where you would make a group for each of your classes. Here you have to decide, do you want to have a separate group for every single class? Or in my case, if I'm teaching 2 web design classes, I'll just have 1 web design group and all my students are part of that same group. You can assign assignments specifically to certain individuals that are part of a group. So if you have separate things that classes are working on, you can separately assign. So you'd give it a group title. Typically it's going to be the class name. If you have a description, you'd fill that in if you want. If you have a photo, you can browse for a photo to add, but you do not have to do that. And then you just click Save. The next thing you may want to do is add a calendar event. I use the calendar to put my agenda for every single day in. It allows me to go back and edit if it's in the calendar, so I can make changes if we didn't get everything done or there were additional assignments than what was listed on there. And then the students are able to see exactly what they may have missed, or if they've forgotten their assignment, they can look right on the calendar for that date. Once you have the group made, you'll see your groups on the left-hand side here. So I can just select one of my groups, and then it's going to bring up this screen, and I have announcements, discussions, pages, resources, and calendar, and then list of all my members. So I'll select calendar, and all you do is select the date. So if it's the 26th today, I'll select that one. If you want it to be part of that specific group and visible to any group members, you have to select group from this drop down. If you don't change it, it'll just go on your personal calendar and nobody else will see it. So I'll select group, select what class it is that's going to see it. I like to label mine with the day in the term, so if we're in day 4, I'll type day 4 agenda. And that allows me then to go back and look. So if I'm in the next term teaching and I want to see what I had previously done, I'm able to look at that. You can adjust the time, the start time. This doesn't affect much unless you want to be very specific on it. Unfortunately, you do have to leave location and address, and city and state and zip in here. And then you can type in your description of what your agenda is, what you plan to do for the day. And I'll just type that for now and click Save. And then it's visible here. The way it looks to the students is when they go to the calendar, they'll see day 4 agenda. They can click on it and this is what they would see. If you ever want to edit it, you just click back in it like I just did, and then the little pencil over the paper icon, you can click on it and edit, and it takes you right back into there. If you already have an agenda set up in Word or somewhere else, you can just copy and paste that right here. Another thing you might want to do when you're first in My Big Campus is set up discussions. So I'm going to select a different group. You just go to discussions, and then if you want to add a discussion, click on add, and you give it a title, and that's what the students will see right away. So I'm going to have a discussion on alignment in regards to design of a web page, and then I just copied this from another document and I can paste that in. If I want to restrict who gets this discussion, I can do that. Typically you're not going to make any changes to it, and then just click save. You also may want to limit what students have access to within your class, and in this case, web design, I noticed that they have the ability to chat, and they don't necessarily need that for this class, so I'm going to turn that off. So within the main page of web design, I just click edit, and then I can scroll down and I can see that right now chat is enabled. I'll deselect that so it's turned off, and then press save, and now it's no longer available to them to chat within this group.